Three news stories for you viewers. Firstly, an Ethiopian minister has denied any airstrikes on Mekelle city. We'll discuss about the statement given by Ethiopian Minister Lagasse Tulu. Secondly, TDF has shared some videos and pictures of more captured ENDF soldiers which have been taken prisoner on Vagal Tana front. Vagal Tana is under TDF, though Amhara news sources are rejecting this claim of TDF. Lastly, viewers, last and the most important development, Ethiopian government has issued a statement. It is seeking the support of the US and international community for the resolution of Tigray conflict. An important statement: Ethiopian government has been accusing US of interfering in Ethiopian internal matters. But just a few minutes ago, Ethiopian Foreign Ministry issued a statement calling for US and international help. We'll talk about that in detail. Firstly, viewers, a few hours ago, airstrikes were conducted on Mekelle city of Tigray. Not only the confirmation has been made by Tigray news sources, but some aid agencies, their workers, they have also confirmed that Mekelle was hit by airstrikes. So airstrikes have been conducted. Some casualties are also being reported. Civilians have been killed. No official statement from Ethiopian government so far, no written statement. A state minister, Lagasse Tulu, talked to some reporters, some journalists a few hours ago. He said, why would Ethiopia carry out airstrikes on Mekelle? Mekelle is an Ethiopian city. He rejected the news that Ethiopian Air Force had conducted airstrikes on Mekelle. But airstrikes have been conducted. I have managed to get in touch with some aid workers as well. They have confirmed that airstrikes were conducted and civilian casualties are also being reported. Though Ethiopian Minister of Communication rejected any airstrikes, but the statement which Ethiopian government issued a few minutes ago, in which there is no mention of airstrikes, it means that Ethiopian government in black and white is not rejecting any airstrikes on Mekelle. It's not rejecting airstrikes on Mekelle, we can say. Secondly, viewers, some videos have been shared by TDF fighters from Vagal Tana. Vagal Tana is under Tigray Defense Force. It's in South Wollo, Delanta, Woreda. Though Amhara news sources are denying, they're rejecting this claim of Tigray Defense Force. But TDF has shared pictures, videos of several captured, dozens of captured ENDF soldiers from Vagal Tana. Watch some of these videos. Then we'll talk about an important statement issued by Ethiopian government. Just a few minutes ago, Ethiopian Foreign Ministry issued a statement. The statement is a request. Ethiopian government is requesting the US and other international partners to support its overtures for peace. Well, the same Ethiopian government was accusing the US of interfering in internal affairs of Ethiopia. A few weeks ago, we saw statements. Ethiopian government was saying that colonialism had changed into neo-colonialism, and Western powers, they wanted to colonize African people once again. Now, Ethiopian government wants the US support for peace in Ethiopia. Why is that? Firstly, in the statement, Ethiopian government accused TPLF of civilian killings. The statement says that more than 30 civilians have been killed in Vichale. Vichale was under artillery strikes. Ethiopian government said that in Vichale, in Shefra, in these two towns, dozens of innocent civilians have been killed. TPLF fighters are involved in indiscriminate shelling of civilians in Amhara and Afar region. And secondly, Ethiopian government in the statement says that international community, including the US, must not treat this conflict in an unbalanced way. International community must condemn TPLF's crimes in Wollo, in Wag Himra, where civilians are being killed. In the statement, Ethiopian government has used the word request more than once. It is requesting the US, it is requesting the international community that international community must support Ethiopian government's overtures for peace. What has changed over the past few days due to which Ethiopian government has changed its tone? Well, things are changing on the battlefield, no doubt about that. ENDF's offensive to push TDF out of Amhara, it has not worked. It has partly failed, not completely. It has partly failed, especially on Waldia Dasi front. It has partly failed. Now, Ethiopian government is sending a message of peace. It wants international community to play a role in the resolution of this conflict peacefully. At the same time, it is conducting airstrikes on Mekelle as well. So either Ethiopian government is making preparations, it is planning a large-scale attack on Tigray, and it is just issuing a statement just to make the international community believe that Ethiopia wants peace, but TPLF is against peace. So either Ethiopian government is going to launch invasion of Tigray in the form of airstrikes and other types of operations. So that is why it has issued this preemptive sort of statement to convince international community that Ethiopia wants peace, but TPLF is against peace. Or Ethiopian government is on the back foot. Its forces have suffered losses. Its forces cannot recover the losses. Now it wants international community to resolve this conflict, to mediate this conflict. There are these two likely conclusions which we can draw after reading this statement. On the field, situation has changed a little, viewers, no doubt about that. On the ground, TDF was under pressure when this new offensive started. There were heavy strikes, airstrikes on Waldia, Gashina fronts. But TDF is out of this pressure. What remains to be seen is the response of the US and other international players to this request from Ethiopian government. Will the US and other parties play a role in the resolution of this conflict? They must play a role. These parties cannot resolve this conflict peacefully. They'll try their methods of military operations. I don't think they can sit for talks on their own. They need intervention of other players. International community must play its role. Thank you for watching.